Reserve the Lily Tory Forest. Over.
Come jump forward, Simba One.
Okay, Pepper.
Keep your eyes open and drive carefully. You should see lots of animals.
Okay, roger that, Wilson. Okay, so keep your eyes open. Many animals here have natural colors and body patterns that can blend in with the background. Sometimes you have to have a very keen eye to spot an animal.
Smells like
Which there doesn't seem to be anything yet. But we are nearing a watering hole. This might make a good spot for finding animals. Maybe even a black rhino. Now, black rhinos have been hunted down to near extinction, where hundreds of thousands have been killed for their horns. There are currently only 4,200 left in the wild today. Oh, there's a black rhino.
Right back there in
to
the
your
back.
left, up the hill.
See it? We're over there.
This black rhino has a hide that's about 1 inch thick, and it can charge up to 35 miles per hour. That makes it one rough and tough animal, but it's still quite vulnerable to poachers, which is why in this reserve there is a warrant patrol keeping an eye on the whole 800 square mile reserve, making sure all the animals are safe, keeping constant patrol and a watchful eye on everything.
Look, there it is.
Oh, there's another black rhino.
Ava.
Look past the cliff to your left, and you'll see it. There it is.
Eating.
Now, the horns on that rhino's head is made out of a certain body product called keratin, and that's the kind of product on your fingernails. And if they happen to chip off, then they can grow back. Oh, there happens to be some yellow-billed storks right over by the bamboo, which are scavengers, which means they would eat anything from small fish to snakes and frogs and even small birds. And we're about to make our way towards the Sami River. That would be a good place for finding some hippos, so be sure to stay seated. Heading over the hill, down the hill, and we're going to take a look around. Oh, look over to your right. There's a hippo on dry land, over your shoulder. Might want to stay seated though, these roads can get quite bumpy. Now that hippo's body can overheat very rapidly on dry land, so it would spend the majority of its time in the water to keep its temperature at a neutral level. So, fairly soon it's going to be going back in the water.
Oh, look at that.
Over to our left though, there's an island where we can see a nest of white-breasted cormorants and a colony of pigback pelicans. Now these cormorants, unlike most birds, lack the waterproof oils in their feathers. So when they get wet, they need to stand out in the sun to dry. And the pigback pelicans there work together to herd fish towards shallow water, living in colonies. Oh, here are a couple more hippos on dry land. And one more in the water.
Yeah.
These hippos can hold their breath for about 5 to 8 minutes at a time.
Huge.
And can eat 150 pounds of vegetation per day.
Yeah.
And also these hippos are too heavy to actually swim around the water, so they actually walk along the river bottom. That's how they would get around while underwater. Alright, looks like we're about to cross this bridge up ahead. Be sure to be seated, because down below to your left, there's some Nile crocodiles. Being cold-blooded animals, they regulate their body temperatures by holding their mouths open. When they clamp shut, they have a force of 1,200 pounds per square inch, and that's enough to crush bone. And that should be enough to scare you to sit down and remain seated at all times. Thank you. Alright, here we go.
Simba One, come in.
Roger, this is Simba 1. Over.
Just wanted to let you know that my ground patrol has seen a lot of elephant activity near the red light pit. You definitely want to check out that area.
Okay, roger that, Wilson. Now we're making our way out of the forest towards the African savanna, where we're going to see some different animals on the way. Speaking of different, to our right, there's an upside-down looking tree called a baobab tree, which is able to survive long droughts by storing water in its trunk, and can go leafless for up to 9 months in a year. here's my favorite view of this whole reserve. The Serengeti grasslands can stretch for hundreds of miles through East Africa and becomes a superhighway for millions of migrating animals. This would make an ideal place where we would find some elephants and lions, some of the popular animals. Now this is the wild Africa we're working very hard to preserve. Now this African savanna has been made by the many animals that live here. Elephants would act as bulldozers, knocking down the trees so they can be eaten, allowing more grass to spread. Meanwhile, giraffes eat up the bottom of the tree leaves, letting more sunshine go through to the grass. Where antelopes will be mowing down the grass, allowing more shoots to sprout. Then little nibblers like gazelles and warthogs would trim the edges. No matter where you look around here, there's enough food for everyone.